I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors Update, and here we are with the privilege and fun of talking with the founder and president of Helping Seniors. It's none other than Joe Steckler. Hey, Joe, how are you today?
I'm fine, Kerry. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. You know, we're closing in on the seventh annual Helping Seniors Car Raffle. In fact, it's just like under about 90 days away, and it's time to get everybody to get their tickets and get ready for a great night, Saturday, October 7th at the American Muscle Car Museum. It's going to be a fun night, and somebody's going home in a new car, Joe.
Is there any way you can put a picture on this Zoom that we're doing so our viewers can see what that museum looks like inside?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I have some footage, so as we're talking about it, we can definitely throw that in.
Okay, I would really like for you to do that, Kerry,
Yeah.
so that if the viewers could just see what this guy, Mark Pillock, has done with assembling these cars and hearing the story of why he moved from where he was to Florida and bringing those beautiful cars here for so many people to see. And the irony of the whole thing, Kerry, is that so many people keep coming back to see him. You just can't see them all at one time.
No, and then he keeps adding to the collection, Joe. Every time we go back there, the cars get closer together. He's got more on lifts and things like that, because I think they told me now the collection is well over 400 cars.
Yeah, and the interesting part, Kerry, Mark Pollock's got a pile of money. I know that, and you know it too from owning all those cars. But what this guy has done is opened up not his museum, but his heart. And that's where this whole business of helping seniors comes in, and how we get contributors and how we get people to support us is it's simply opening up your heart, because once you open up your heart, you can't help but open up your pocket strings. And without support, financial support, I'll tell you, simply no simple. We need to sell those $100 packets of tickets. We really do. $25 is fine, but that $100 packet, every time they keep rolling in, is a big help. And I talked to Marty today, and I don't know if she told you this, but she picked up 15 of those little envelopes, and people send their tickets back. Ones they purchase, they send them back to us. But you viewers, I want to tell you personally, I'm 89 now. I'll be 90 this year. Believe it or not, I am. And it does me good to see so many new people find out about the car raffle and our work. And we have a doctor here, Dr. Delectus, who in January, we talked to him in January of 22. And now in June of 23, we're finally getting ready to open the Senior Resource Center. And I tell you, folks, when Kerry and I first looked at that space that Dr. Delectus donated, folks, gave it to us, because he wants us to be able to help the seniors that can't help themselves. And no matter how many seniors we get, and Brevard County is loaded with seniors, and so many of those seniors, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to access so many of the financial programs that are available to them to help them. And this car raffle, Kerry, it helps us pay the very few people. And right now there are four paid people, really three, but we have one part-time. So there's 3.5 people that are doing the work of a lot of people. And we've got a board that's unlike most boards I've ever seen. Every one of our board members is a working member. They help us. They go out there and they sit in the hot sun on the weekends, and I did it for years, selling these tickets. I spent 38 years in the Navy, and I was a commissioned officer, and I retired as a captain. But that didn't mean anything to me, because what that Navy taught me was how to make something happen. And that's what we've done here. We've made something happen, something good, something that helps people. And every night when I sit there and think of how I can go to the internet and figure out a way to raise more money so that we can get another staff member, so that we can take some of the load off the one that's answering the phone, helping these people. And if we had the time, I would tell so many stories, but I think of one that we had a lady, and this was in a close organization, had a lady that had a flag system. And when the flag was turned the right way, that meant she was all right. When it wasn't, she was in trouble. Well, she forgot to turn the flag, and the people seeing the flag didn't see it. And the long and the short of the story was, a woman well into her 80s spent 36 hours in a bathtub before we got help to her, because we didn't simply know it. But once we figured out what had happened, we got in that house and got that woman out of that tub. And she couldn't get out herself. She simply couldn't do it. But there's so many people like this. Even you take these systems, you put them around your neck, and you say, push the button and call help will get there. What if you forget to put the button around your neck? What if? And it can go on and on and on. There's so many stories, so many situations. And that's why that old car raffle is so important. But I'll let you tell the people about the car raffle a little bit. What do they have to do to get into it, Gary?
Well, it's Joe, it's like the greatest deal of the century, because despite everybody complaining about prices going up, the price of the raffle tickets is the same as it has been consistently from day one. One ticket is $25, 5 tickets for $100 donation. And like we're always telling people, whenever we're out at the car shows or meeting with people at different events, it's really a great deal, because number one, you're donating to support the work of Helping Seniors, and we're now in our 12th year. And Joe, when you were talking about is basically 3.5 people, and those 3.5 people collectively managed over 5,400 calls to our senior information line last year. That's a lot of work. And as you know, Joe, it really falls on Nancy, our operations director, who handled really almost all of those calls herself. It's a lot of work, and it's getting more and more calls every day. So your donation is important, but here's what's in it for you. When you get those tickets, number one, it is a chance for you to win a car. And Joe, you worked with AJ, and there's 5 cars in the raffle, and the winner picks the car that they drive home in. It could be a Chevrolet Camaro, which is exactly what Gail McGinnis, who was our local winner, who was actually there last year when Mark and his wife pulled the winning ticket, and she wanted the Camaro. So she's driving a Camaro. There's a Dodge Challenger, just like the one that Karen Hoodless won. I think that was 2 years ago. She chose the Dodge Challenger. So those are 2 great cars that the winner can choose from. And Joe, they're saying this could be the last year for the Dodge Challenger and the last year for the Camaro. So these could really become collector's items. But if you prefer, there's also a Mazda Miata convertible. There is a Kia Sportage, which is what our winner took not last year, but the year before.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, David Odahowski, he said, I want the Kia Sportage. And this year, AJ has added a brand new Mitsubishi dealership, so our winner could also choose from a Mitsubishi Outlander. So it is your choice when you win. But here's the coolest part. While you don't have to be present to win, your ticket, each ticket, is admit one to Mark's amazing museum. And if you've been there before, you know how great it is, but you got to go see it again because he keeps adding cars. And Joe, I'm surprised how many people don't know still when we're out at these car events and things, they don't know about this museum. And it's because it's basically Mark's private garage. And the only time that you can go in there is when he's kind enough to open it up to help a charity like ours. So it's a great night out, Saturday, October 7th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mark brings for everything, the beer, the wine, the soda, the water. There's always some great stuff to eat, pizza, sandwiches, great chocolate chip cookies. They always make it so fun and so nice for everybody who comes out there. And then the fun part is at the end of the night, we find out if we draw your ticket and you win the car. So Joe, I always say it like this: if you buy that 5 ticket pack for $100, you've done a great thing, but you can't take yourself and 4 of your friends for pizza and a movie for $100 these days.
Well, not too many people think that mentioning a collection of Schwinn bicycles, it makes much difference to anybody, but there are a lot of people, especially a lot of the viewers, will remember the Schwinn bicycle. Mark's got a fantastic collection of those things. He's also got a collection of Porsche vehicles. And it's not just muscle cars, but it's muscle cars of pretty high expense. And I don't know, I think he's got a Maserati there. He's got a lot of stuff, but mostly it's one of the nicest events people could go to because the people there are very kind. They're very open to talking to each other. It's not a highfalutin event or anything like that. People come in all kinds of clothes. It's just a good event. And the sad part, Kerry, is that we sell a lot of tickets out of state, and the people, they don't get to see the collection, but they see the pictures that you take, and a lot can be said from a picture. And I know that a lot of people that buy the tickets because they want to take a chance to win the car. But there are a lot of viewers, as I have found out, that not just want the car, but they want to help us. Because once they look at our site, Helping Seniors of Brevard.org, Helping Seniors of Brevard, BREVARD.org, you can see what we do. All the radio shows, the TV shows that we have filmed and archived and are on the sites, and are all about caregiving. They're all about how to select an assisted living facility, how to do different things. There's financial stuff on there. There's all kinds of stuff. And you can go and you can find out all the resources that are available to get help for someone that you love or someone that you know might need help. It also helps those people that qualify for what we call Medicaid. Medicare doesn't cover any of this. It's all Medicaid, private pay, and folks, we're finding so many people that have not prepared for their retirement adequately, and they're outliving their money. And if we use some of these resources correctly, we can help people. And a lot of the things that we don't help just older people, but we help old people. There are more and more older people, Kerry, that are becoming homeless. And if you think about it, you viewers, you have a 70, 75, 80, or 85-year-old mother or father that live a couple thousand miles away from you, or you know somebody that's old that is on the verge of homelessness or being evicted from their home. It's a horrifying situation. And we have been able to help more and more homeless people. And that's, to me, that's a sign of an organization that's cooking. It makes help people possible. And I can't tell you, there is no way that you can describe the joy that you feel when you see somebody that knows they're going to be on the street, sleeping under a blanket that somebody gives them, clothes that they've worn day in, day out. Just think about when you drive down the street, folks, sometime, take a look at the people on the bicycles that have a whole bunch of stuff on themselves, or the ones that have managed to acquire a supermarket shopping cart that they've got these bags in there that are carrying someplace. And these are the people that are looking for a place to sleep at night. And we've been able to help a lot of those people. So we've been some pretty innovative things, and we're finding there are people. And I have to say this one thing, that there are people out there that have opened a spare room or something they had in their home to some of these people. And we're as a scary thing to do, but we try our very best to help the people, get to know each other. But they've all turned out good, and people enjoy having that person. And so most of the time, this person that goes there is able to help somebody be able to stay in their home. There's just so many things that you can make happen if you know where to go. And that's what we do. We provide information. We provide a connection. We connect people to resources and people. And then we have to go to people and organizations and ask them to support us, because there isn't any federal money, folks, that helps just the average person. The person that can get the help is the person that has absolutely nothing, and they haven't really planned for retirement. Sad to say, most of those people are the ones that can get the help the easiest. But anyway, however you look at it, every person that we keep off the streets is a plus. And Kerry, in your background, you're a doctor, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, Joe. And as we talk about over and over, that whole homeless senior challenge is becoming more and more real. And that's why, that's the serious part of our work, Joe. The fun part is the car raffle, because it's the fundraiser, and it's flashy, it's exciting, it's a lot of fun. It's so, the only way I could say it is so electric to be in there when Mark's wife reaches in and pulls out that winning ticket, and then Mark gets up there and reads number by number. It just makes it a really fun night, but it has a real important meaning, helping us in doing the work of helping seniors. And now, Joe, here we go into 13th year of helping seniors. And that's why this 7th annual car raffle is so important. So let me just kind of sum up, and then I'll give you the last word. But to get your tickets, there's a lot of ways you can get tickets. First of all, you can get them online safely and securely, Helping Seniors Car Raffle.com. A lot of people are getting their tickets that way. Number 2, you can call Nancy on our Helping Seniors information line. I'll give you that number, 321-473-7770. She can take your order for tickets securely by phone. If you want to take a look at these cars to help you figure out which one you want to drive home in when you win October 7th, you can go by any of the Boniface Hires car dealerships around the county, because they have your tickets there. Almost all of our partners, Joe, have tickets. I was talking to board certified elder law attorney Bill Johnson. He's got tickets at his offices there in Viera. I was talking with the folks at Fresh Scratch Bistro, a great restaurant out beachside, who helps us with car shows. They've got your tickets there. Folks like Jennifer Barton with Seniors Helping Seniors. You stop any of these folks and say, if they're connected with Helping Seniors, they've got your raffle tickets. The important thing is they need to get you the raffle tickets so that you can have a great time at the museum and help us keep the work going. And Joe, I'll leave it to you to put a closing statement on it.
When you get to be older, Kerry, you have a lot of children and a lot of grandchildren. So my wife and I say, well, we'll figure out, we'll get tickets for all the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, and we haven't got a great one yet, but there's a possibility for that. And but that's a good way to spend your money. Is a good way to help us. But no, seriously, every ticket that comes to us through purchase from watching this video, our work on screen online, is a big help to helping seniors continue their work. And so we'll thank you, and I'm sure the good Lord will bless you too.
All right. Thanks, Joe Steckler. That's our president and founder, the same guy. They call them Joe's Clubs to this day because Joe built all those as he was getting everything growing with the Brevard Alzheimer's. And then, like I said, you know, here we are 13 years into the work of helping seniors. Never been a more important time. So again, helpingseniorscarraffle.com. And we look forward to seeing you at the museum on October 7th.